If you missed baseball with Bruce last week, well, shame on you, first of all. Second of all, these two teams going at it were 1 and 2 in his top 10 power rankings. St. John's, St. Francis, two teams with a lot of hope, and some of which coming off a tough loss on St. Francis' side to Anthony Wayne. But these are two teams, a rivalry game, first and foremost, right? They are going to come at each other with everything they have. And then an early season test where both of them are seeing, all right, this is where I am as things are starting to shake out.
I have the privilege to call this game tomorrow, and
Lucky man.
I am excited because I really believe St. John's is the best team in the area right now. Now, what's interesting, they have St. Francis tomorrow. Oh, by the way, they play Anthony Wayne today.
On Wednesday.
So it's going to be interesting to see what Sam Fisher does with his pitching. I have a feeling he'll throw off today and save his ace for tomorrow. But the thing with St. John's is they've got three top pitchers with Donovan Matimo, J.J. Fody, and John Tober. They've got three very good pitchers.
Right.
That's why I think they're going to be at the top. St. Francis, I mean, Bobby Edgell does a great job over there. You've seen the way they matured through the season last year. That Catholic League in Detroit plays very good baseball.
Absolutely.
For people that don't understand.
Yeah.
It's very comparable, maybe even a little bit better than the NLL Buckeye.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that good a baseball from year to year. It varies. But I think we're going to have a tremendous game tomorrow. And as we know, these two rivals, they don't need a lot to get fired up. I can't wait to get to Don Cobra Field tomorrow for that game.
Yeah, Bobby Edgell talked about it in the preseason Blade Report, right, where we talked all basketball season about, man, the CHSL, holy smokes. He said there's double the amount of D1 prospects on the baseball side of things than there were on the court. Justin, I know you're ready for this one too.
Yeah, busy week for both of these teams. St. John's is taking on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Central Catholic, Anthony Wayne, and then St. Francis. St. Francis on Wednesday taking on Central Catholic, and then St. John's on Thursday. So, like you said, very key element of coaching. Okay, who are we pitching? How many pitches can we have this guy go? How many innings can we have this guy go? Do we have guys that throw back-to-back, maybe an inning here, an inning there? A lot of strategery with these teams in this matchup here. But in Coach Edgell, he told me in his third year, looking for consistent pitching. Julian Coleman has pitched well at times early in the season. They lost Mano Bublik and Colin Hennessy, so you're trying to find those guys that you can rely upon. And the fact that a lot of teams are busy this week, maybe making up some games that were rained out or colded out in some cases from earlier in the year. But he told me, I like this bit. One, you got to throw strikes, St. Francis does, and then the free base war. That applies to walks, hit by pitch, wild pitches, pass balls, and steals. I love that aspect because he told me in all the games that they played so far, the winner of that statistic won the game, whether it was his team or the other team. So talk about those little tiny details throughout an entire game that can add up to a victory. And then having hard contact. And I thought that was interesting because that's what I preach at the youth level. Just hit the ball hard. Okay, It's difficult for someone to field a ball that's a rocket shot, maybe a 1-2 hopper. It still applies at the high school level, college level, MLB level. On the flip side for fifth-year coach Sam Fisher, remember they had 6 wins all of last year. Repeat that. 6 wins all of last year. They had 5 wins entering Tuesday. So they're already ahead of the game in many respects. He told me the key to this game, rivalry game, got to come ready to play. Winning moments within the game. Enjoy each other playing in the dugout and on the field. Offensively, put pressure on them. Put the ball in play. You can't take strikes down the middle. And then focus on each play. Each pitch is a new pitch, and you got to forget about those mistakes and move on. Easier said than done, but both of these teams are going to have to do that to get a victory.
This rivalry matchup coming up Thursday, that is 5 p.m. on BCSN+.